Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I've got another Shimano shifter fix video. This particular shifter is the Shimano Altus A20. Alright, so we got both front and rear shifters here, and they both have the same problems. But what you might do first, just as a quick it's kind of an easy fix without doing really anything else on the bike if you're just kind of having some minor issues. So you got, there's a little hole back here where you can access the cable. So we're all the way shifted down. Hopefully you can get yours shifted all the way down. If not, then you'll have to go to the option B. But you can see where that cable just slips through there. So I get asked a lot on these, how do you put a new cable in? Well, this one, it's got a little hole. Some of them will have a plug that you have to take out. This one is just the bare hole. So that's where the cable slides in and out. So what you can do a lot of times is just squirt got some WD-40 here. We'll just shoot a little bit of that in and just work it a little. Sometimes that, just by doing that, it's enough to already get more clicks there. So yeah, at this point it's just really a matter of patience. But, you know, we're already getting more clicks, so sometimes you can just do that and revive them pretty quickly. What I like to do, if it's on the bike, I'll rotate these up to where the underside is facing upwards. Just makes it a little easier to get to. Generally, the older the shifter, such as the case of these, you have to get into a little bit more of a process. There's a little Phillips head screw here. And we can remove that. And we got this little cover. All right, so we got our screw in our cover. We got a little something to put it in. It's kind of helpful. Those little screws can wander off the bench pretty easily. And then there's on the rear shifter, you got this other little plastic ring here. Sometimes if you pull that off, it makes it a little easier to kind of access everything. So just kind of keep in mind, it's going to sit. There's this little spot there where there's a little section, and basically it's just going to fit under this, the upper paddle, I guess, or the one you would hit with your forefinger. It just rests up underneath there on the bottom. But if you remove that, it'll allow you to see the little paws better. I'm trying to get this in focus where you can see it, but as I shift the lever, you can see that little paw right there. Now I've got it, it's starting to loosen up pretty well. Some of these, if you kind of flick it like that, you'll see it want to either not want to move at all, like it's really hard to move, or you pull it out like this and it just kind of sticks in that position. But you want it to just flick back real easily like this. And basically what happens with this shifter, any Shimano rapid fire shifters, the road shifter, STI, the same thing occurs. And basically it's just the grease and stuff that's in there gets really thick over time, especially if the bike hasn't been ridden. It gets stored in a garage where you get kind of these kind of hot and cold cycles back and forth. So if you pull this cover off and you're still having issues with it, you can just shoot you a little WD-40 or PB blaster, something like that. Another method is just really hot water. We've got a solvent tank up at the shop that has just uses really hot water to clean, degrease things, and it's got I don't know if it's got baking soda or something like that, and really hot water, but it works really well on these. Just flush them out, and then I'll take the bike in a lot of times if I'm doing a tune-up, and I'll take it in the the little washroom and wash the bike, and then, you know, take it back, and then once I get it back on the workbench or my work stand, I'll just blow it out with compressed air, then lubricate it with some tri-flow or something like that, and you're good to go. So anyway, back, you know, on this one, that's basically just a matter of working that little, probably a good idea if we pull out the cable though. It's getting all mangled in there. So yeah, that's basically it on this one. What I would follow up on this would be to put some, you know, I'd blow it out maybe if I have access to compressed air. If not, just wipe it off and then put you some, I like the Finish Line green lube, or Tri-Flow works pretty well. Okay, so I'd get this guy back on. Just remember, we want to have it with the kind of the flat end facing downwards. Just going to put it over that lever, stretch it around that one, work it in to where that the little piece lines up with the lever there. Just like so. See, it's kind of moving it there. It's sitting under that lever, and then you just want this piece to kind of, there's a little bit of a pocket that just fits in. And then this one, some of the newer versions of these, you have to hook a little piece that's under there, a little lip underneath that one. This one, there's a little pin right there. That's your screw hole. So just, there's your little pinhole, your screw hole. These are probably the simplest shifters really, because if you take it apart any further than this, you don't have to worry about getting the pins aligned for the little gear indicator, because obviously these don't have any gear indicators. So yeah, it's only 7-speed, so that's that one. The front one here, I think we're getting 1 gear, but nothing else. Just sounds super sluggish too. There's not a definitive click. Give her the old WD-40 injection first. Yep, well, it kind of was working there. Yeah, there we go. I'd probably work this in a little more. It's kind of inconsistent on that second shift. But same thing. I mean, this one, it doesn't, that one looks like it's actually broken. But yeah, that's basically that. As far as if you're doing the brake cable as well, there's a slot there, and then the outer barrel adjuster, there's a slot. So basically you'll want to just undo that to the point. You get both those slots lined up with this slot, and then the cable will just come out like so. And then if you will flip this around, there's a slot right there. You kind of just got to rotate that, and the cable will come right out. In, pull that back, let it go through the slot, into the other slot, give her a little rotation, cut your housing, and you're good to go. So yeah, that's basically it on these. You know, obviously wipe it down. You might wipe all this oily residue off with some isopropyl alcohol. And yeah, hopefully you found the video helpful. If you've got a different model, I've got quite a few different versions of Shimano shifter rebuilds, but anyway, hopefully you found the video useful if you're dealing with this specific model, A10 or A20 Altus. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Comments, questions, leave them down below.